Hello and welcome again, folks, to Creepy Cootie Crafty. Welcome again to yet another Friday Fabric Fumble with me, Heather. Hi guys, how are we doing this week? Right, so I'm continuing this one. I'm very close to the end, and I am doing all of today's Friday Fabric Fumble on this. And I would be doing a couple of extraneous videos on the other bits and pieces. What I'm aiming to do today is just fill in this area here and get these bits coloured. And then I will be putting together a final video with a complete reveal, hopefully. I got all this finished over the course of the last week. This week I'm going to be filling this area in, as I say, and I'm going to be doing that with this one, I believe. I'm going to be doing it a bit different though. I'm going to sort of do my own version. I'm just going to sort of fill it with the star shapes in all of the squares, and just see how we go. So what I'm aiming to do is have some that are darker and more filled and more sort of compact, and some that are lighter and less filled. But I'm also going to add some sort of seed stitching and things around them as well. I'm going to add that to this area here, and then I've also got this area over here that I'm going to add some to. So I'm just going to get started on that. Now, the reason why I sort of started that here is because I'm doing a little bit of X's and Y's along here, so it sort of overlaps with this one. So hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about when I get there. We've got 1.5 tons of bits that are nearly done. But we'll get to that point soon. I want these patterns to sort of bleed into each other, but I'll be sort of explaining more about that when we get to those parts. So you can see where, you know, on this pattern here, you've got the X filling the half an X, one line filling the diagonal in the boxes. This one is going to have both diagonals in the boxes as crosses going through, and that should be filling the entire thing. So I'm hoping to make it look sort of like they're filling each other, if you know what I mean. They're one's leading into the other kind of ideal, because you can see on some of these I've got sort of half stitches and pieces that are broken off of the patterns, and I'm hoping that's going to look decent as we go. What I'll do is I'll do a row along here and then go back over it so you can see what I mean. I'm aware that this is probably going to be quite a singular focused video, mostly because I want to get this one done by the end of this week. I'm probably going to be adding some more bits and pieces to it next week, once we get to that point. But we shall see. Squinks is hopefully going to be wearing this to a couple of the Comic-Cons that we've got going on nearby. So maybe look out for us at the Birmingham Comic-Con and at the Walsall Comic-Con coming this weekend, because that would be nice to see them wear this. They may also, of course, wear other cosplay as well, but you know, it's one of those things. By the time I got to the finish of making this, they've moved on in their fandom. They've now got other fandoms that they're more excited by, but such is life. And of course, in a year or two, once this jacket is too small for them, maybe I can sell it on eBay or something like that. What do you think? Would you buy something made by Creepy Cootie Crafty on eBay? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Talking of which, I do sell some of my paint pours and things like that on eBay, because otherwise they would just fill the entire house and I need to make more space. I'm also looking to do some more painting generally. We've got a little bit of space out in the sunroom that we've got at the back of the house for me to do my paintings in, but it does get full very quickly. But I still want to do paintings and hopefully sell them as well. That would be nice. But yeah, I'm also looking at other things I can do with my my shorts and things, because most of my paint pours were on my shorts, and I've been having a go at doing sort of pattern making on an iPad program called Amasiograph, which I've had for years, but only in the last 6 months I've really sort of started to get a handle on how to use it properly. Yeah, it's a fun program, but it's also requires the time to to get to know the program and get used to it. I'm still not very good with digital art and digital creation, but yes, that's something I would like to be used to, because apart from anything else, then I can do some sort of designs for my my backgrounds on my videos and things. The subscribe button like this one here and the comment button like this one here, hint hint, I made those using Amaziograph and the not Amaziograph, using Procreate and the animation feature on there. But it's something that I definitely would like to get more au fait with, because it's fun to be able to share things online with some degree of accuracy, isn't it? So yes. Anyway, I am working on this too. So yeah, we've got Christmas coming up. I still have to work on my my Christmas card designs. I've got to find some more time to do those, but it's going to be more in the videos coming up in the next few weeks. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And I've also got my my weaving and spinning videos coming up, and I'm really looking forward to having a go at those, as I've been saying for weeks now. I've got the equipment to have a go at basic spinning, which I would love to have a go at, but it's going to have to be after I get this one done. But the other thing I was going to have a go at, and this is something that I was preparing to have a go at before the summer holidays, but I never got around to, because that's how life is, and that is tie-dyeing. I've done some tie-dyeing in the past on this channel, but it's been a long old while, and I've been researching better processes and better practices for tie-dyeing so you can get better results, and I'm very much looking forward to having a go at that and sharing the results with you. It sounds a bit weird because we're going into winter now, and the weather is horrible and grey, but that apparently is a better way of doing tie-dyeing, because then that means that the ice, as I say, I'm going to have a go at doing ice dyeing. It melts more slowly to create a deeper colour, deeper shades. But I don't know about that. I'm going to have to give it a go and see how it turns out. I have been watching a few tie-dyeing folk on YouTube and also on Instagram. If you want to find me, I'm Creepy Cutie Crafty on all three places, so I'm fairly easy to find, as long as you remember that it's Creepy Cutie Crafty. But it's something that I am very much looking forward to. I've just got to get to the point of actually doing it, haven't I? Oh yes. Anyway, so I have this to finish off. I have my Christmas card designs to finish off. I have I was thinking of doing an advent calendar type project with Squinks, but Squinks has already got an advent calendar that I made several years ago that they want to keep, mostly because they get loads of chocolate out of it. Yeah. They're also gearing up for Christmas, mostly by asking for all the things, because as I say, they're into multiple fandoms at the moment, one of which is Demon Slayer, which it sounds more horrible than it is. It's a manga from Japan, and it's quite an interesting one. There's some very, very cute images that come from it, but I'm not entirely sure that I could get away with creating designs from them all that much at the moment, because there are some very dramatic designs on them, and I would love to have a go at that, but I don't quite know what design I would prefer to do, but we shall see. Yes, we shall. Anyway, as you can probably tell, I haven't written down anything that I can plan to talk to you guys about, because I just didn't. A busy week for me, because I'm back at work tomorrow and on Thursday, and I've got a ton and a half of things to do before then. Mostly getting this done, getting some bits and pieces around the house cleaned and tidied, and then making sure that Squinks does their piano, because they're progressing with their piano quite well. They're on to their grade 4 exam, and I'm really hoping that they do well with it, because they're good at their piano, but they have a bit of an allergy to rehearsing. But then again, were any of us different at that age? I don't think we were. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how their next piano exam turns out. I think I need to do something a bit more constructive rather than patterny for Fabric Fumble Fridays, don't I? I am doing a lot of stitch work like this, lots of embroidery work, but I think I need to vary it up. What do you guys think? Again, let me know down in the comments below what kind of things you would like to see me having a go at on Fridays, and what other kind of things would you like to see me having a go at with my projects generally anyway. And welcome to all suggestions within reason, and I look forward to hearing from you. Yes, so what else have we got going on here? It's just horrendously grey out at the moment. The cold is starting to come in, but it's still not super cold yet, which is kind of a surprise by this time. Normally around the 5th of November, which is when we have Guy Fawkes night, aka bonfire night, we usually have very cold, crisp autumn days, but it hasn't been that crisp, hasn't been that chilling yet. But that's just how things are now, isn't it? Because of that dreaded climate change going on. Yes. Anyway, what else is there to talk about? Have you guys got your Christmas shopping done yet? They always ask us that about this time. Yeah, have you got all of your Christmas shopping done yet? We haven't. Mostly because we've got so many other things going on, but I think I'm going to be taking a day or two out next week or the week after to do as much Christmas shopping as possible, just to get that well underway so we can get things organised. But we have already, not booked, but we have organised what we're going to be doing for our Yule celebration, because we, as I said before, are a family powered by puns, and every Yule, which is around about the 20th or 21st of December, that's when we have the shortest day, the shortest number of daylight hours, and we always have what we call Brinner, which is breakfast for dinner. I think I may have talked about this before, and it is quite ridiculous, but we enjoy making something breakfasty for dinner on Yule. And what we normally do is we try to pick a world breakfast type, and then have that in the evening for our evening meal on Yule. Last year, I think the year before, we did an Irish breakfast, so an full Irish breakfast with sausage, bacon and potato cakes and things like that. And often we do full English breakfasts, and we do American style pancakes and all that sort of thing. This year I've suggested, how about I make some Japanese milk bread, which is, I've made it before, it's sort of like curly bread. It's absolutely lovely, very, very soft, very, very light and airy, and the flavour is beautiful. But instead of just having it as like bread or toast, turning it into French toast, which I could think could be fun. So like quite often if we have French toast, or eggy bread as we sometimes call it here, we have just egg with maybe a few herbs or whatever. But my suggestion is to do like the full shebang. So French toast with maple syrup, maybe with bacon on the side, with cinnamon and spices, and see how that goes. Does that sound good to you guys? It sounds good to me, but I've not done bread of that nature before. I've not done French toast in that style before, so it should be fun, and it also should be very, very yummy. What kind of breakfast do you think we should try next year? What type of breakfast do you have where you are? I don't often have breakfast. If I do, it's just a bit of cereal or something of that nature, or some fruit juice. But I know that everybody has their own preference for what they have first thing in the morning, and it's got to be enough to keep you going through the first half of the day, hasn't it, really? Let me know. It's always a bit weird, isn't it? Kind of what questions are apt, what kind of questions should we ask, and how daft can they get? There we go. You can see how much denser those stitches are to these ones. It makes it much, much darker, which is kind of what I want. I want there to be sort of undulations of darkness, and lighter and darker and lighter. And there are other elements of blackwork stitching that I'm going to be adding into the mix here as well, so it's worth having a look. And see what other blackwork stitches I can add in here. I was thinking about whether or not to add some red or green stitches for the outside edge, but I think black works best, and it makes the colour inside, so the colour up here and the colour down here pop that much more, which I think is going to work in my favour. But yeah, anyway, there we go. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to having a go at my my spinning box. I bought this box quite a while ago now, planning to use it literally the next week when I got it home, but it's going to be, it's been a long while since I got it. It's just one of those things where every time I wanted to do something else more immediate has cropped up. It shows you how well I plan things. I don't really plan them at all, do I? But it's something that I'm definitely looking forward to having a go at. I would love to have a go at making my own yarn, and maybe I can, as I say, do some crochet or knitting or something of that nature with it. But I'm definitely going to be having a go at weaving. I've got myself a couple of little weaving pads, like a little pin weaving loom, and I've also got a hand loom that you saw me bring back from the Creative Craft Show last week. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. I've also been having a look at these things in America, I believe. They're called Zoom looms. They're like little tiny sort of square looms about that big, and you make little patches inside them, and then stitch those patches or crochet those patches together to make garments, or to make like cloths and things. But I've also seen some people doing things like that, and then adding decoration onto the surface with black work, because it's definitely a woven, open weave, woven square, and you can very, very easily count the stitches, so you can do patterning on them like this, but a little bit more easily. And I also think I would like to possibly return to, well, I definitely want to return to doing black work again in the future, because I want to have a go at doing a grander image or a much more detailed image in just black stitches or black and red or black and green stitches, but I want to have a go at doing it on silk or on velvet, because I've heard that the contrast, the difference between the fabrics makes a huge difference. So that would be nice to have a go at, but I'd like to have a go at maybe doing a more traditional type of stitch work rather than this Omori piece. I don't know. I'm all for the geeky stuff, but sometimes I am very aware that it's not to everybody's taste. But, you know, personal taste is a thing for a reason, isn't it? If we all like the same things, we would have a very boring world. Yes, I'm getting more philosophical again, aren't I? Yes. Anyway, so I'm just going to tie that one off on the back. Bear with me 1 second. And yes, that was 2 minutes of silence as I was musing while stitching. I haven't written myself a list of things to write, but I really should do that, shouldn't I? Anyway, so as I was saying, yes, I'm looking forward to having a go at doing some spinning and then hopefully some weaving with my own thread, my very own thread, my very own yarn that I've spun. The wool in the learner box that I've got, I'm going to call it that, the learner box, it feels so soft and yummy and lovely, and I really am looking forward to trying out spinning. Either it's going to be amazing and I'm going to have beautiful yarn straight off the bat, or I'm going to fail horrendously and never do it again. Hopefully it'll be good, because you know, I do like to learn new things, as you know, and if I can do it, I'm fairly sure that anybody else can as well. That's the thing. So take this as encouragement. The only way to learn to do something is by doing it. And yeah, so gotta get on with your life whilst you got it. Anyway, I'm also thinking about what other fabric crafts I could have a go at. I'm thinking about doing some quilting, but not crazy quilting this time. Having a go at doing some English paper piecing, because as I said, I have done it before, and I have done I have made like a mini quilt for Squinks when they were a baby, and when I start doing that on the channel, I will show you, and I will probably be doing that on my Friday Fabric Fumbles, which I think would help to break things up a bit more, wouldn't it? So making sure that I'm doing something more than just stitching patterns like this, because it does get a little bit repetitive, doesn't it? And I fully admit that. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, as I say, we're all gearing up for Christmas here. All the shops are full of things that you probably wouldn't buy at any other time of year, but for some reason Christmas makes you buy all the things that maybe you don't necessarily need, but you want instead. I suppose that's, you know, part of the fun of the season, as they say. But yeah, and we've got, well, we've not got a huge amount going on otherwise. I'm going to be visiting my parents down south, and there will be a little tiny craft sale going on down there, and I'm thinking about whether or not to film it as I go down there, because they live in the middle of Wiltshire with a W, and every year they have a Christmas tree sale at the village hall, and every year my mum says to me, oh well, why don't you come down and enjoy the Christmas tree sale? And every year I've gone, I would love to, but I haven't got the time this year. So this year we are going to go down and have a look around there. I think Squinks is going to enjoy it as well, because it's full of crafty stuff and full of exciting things. Apparently there's some games and things that people are going to be taking part in, and I think it's going to be fun all around. But I will possibly get a video. Would you like to see that, guys? Would you like to see me go down and see? It's a very much more sort of countrified part of well, this country, so it could be not rural but more trying to think of how to say the right word, more down to earth, more homely than maybe it would be up here, well, in the middle of the city as I am. But let me know what you think about that idea. Yes, I'm just going to get to the end of this row and then tuck this thread off, and then I'm going to have a go at doing this bit here. I'm looking at it whilst I'm stitching and I'm thinking, what colours should I do it? Now, for this bit, I'm going to use blue because they're supposed to be like blueberry type things. For this one here, I think I'm going to do sort of yellow and pink. For this one, nice dark green, or green and purple, because that's sort of thistle-like. So you can see there, that's sort of like a thistle. And this one is supposed to be like seed pods, so that would be brown, but I haven't got any brown thread. So I might need to go and pick some brown thread up. Yes. So, I mean, I also having the thought of doing, I'm going to have a look at doing some smocking, because I've been looking at sort of honeycomb smocking and things like that, and I'm thinking maybe I could do something with smocking that links in with the black work, so I can do like black work stitches between the pleats of a smock, but I don't know. I'm thinking it through. I've got a white shirt upstairs put away, all nice and washed and ready to go, for me to have a go with some smocking and some black work. Now I've also, as you saw in a video ages and ages ago, I have bought some silk thread, but that was for black work, but I haven't had a chance to have a go at that yet. What I need to do is get some scraps of silk fabric, which I believe I can buy online. There's like Folksy and places like that sell craft equipment, and also they sell like handmade goods and things. But I'm going to have a look on there and see if I can get myself a bag full of scrapped silk fabric, silk remnants, because I think that would be an interesting one to try. Like I say, I have got some ideas about what I would like to have a go at with black work and with other forms of decorative stitching in the new year, but that's for new year. I've mentioned about them in a previous video, so feel free to go back and look through all my previous videos to find out what I said, because I can vaguely remember what I've said, but all my pieces of paper with my written down plans are elsewhere at the moment. So yes, there you go, that's nice and cryptic for you. As organised as I ever am. So I've poured that thread through so I can finish that off later. Got my needle here ready, so I'm going to start off with some blue. I'm not going to do a huge amount on this because it's only going to be dotting and things on there. I'll move the camera in a second though. So again, I've got my number 8 DMC Perle, cotton Perle, Perle. I don't know how to pronounce that one. I still haven't looked it up. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be going with. Using the same needle and using a threader because my eyes are old. I probably could do it without the threader, but I'm saving myself a bit of hassle really. Yes, excuse the state of my thumb. I caught it on something earlier, So it's not looking the healthiest at the moment, so sorry about that, guys. Okay, so let's move this around slightly so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm not going to be doing like all over stitching. I'm just going to be doing some dotting and shading in here, just so you get the impression of blueness. An impression of blueness, that sounds far too airy-fairy for me, doesn't it? But yeah, there are knots behind here that I can feel from previous stitchings that I've done on here, so I don't want it to be too thick and uncomfortable. I want this to be wearable afterwards. But yeah, that's just how it's going to go. So yeah, just dotting a little bit on here. It's no plan, just chaos, same as ever. But it seems to be working so far. Yes. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say. I don't know if you remember me saying on, well, my video from last week, I did a haul video from the Creative Craft Show, and I went to Barry's Fabrics in Birmingham, which is a fabric warehouse, which was lovely to visit, really fantastic place. But I got some fabrics there to try something out. Now, I've seen a few people do this online. I haven't done it myself yet, but I've seen them do basically sort of embroidery paintings, like stitch paintings. I've never done anything like that. I did that sort of picture of a kraken last year, and I also did a couple of other small bits of stitched imagery. But I think I would definitely like to revisit that and have another go at doing a stitch painting on these fabrics that I bought last week. Now, one of them was a very lovely sort of koi pond type design with some beautiful red and white koi fish in it, and the other one was a pile of rubber duck designs, so like a big collection of yellow duckies, and I think I would like to have a go at doing some form of stitch painting on that. So what do you think? Does that work? Can you see that? It's just a little bit of blue on there. I'm not going to fill the whole thing. I don't want it to be completely filled in. But I think that works. I'm probably going to be adding a lot more to this off screen as well. But you have to wait and see on that, won't you? Yes. Anyway, so what Christmas crafting are you guys going to be doing? As I say, I've got to finish off my Christmas cards, but I'm also going to be having a go at doing some baking of some description. I don't yet know what though. Every year I say I'm going to have a go at making a gingerbread house, and every year I run out of time, but maybe I'll do that this year. I'm not going to make a Christmas cake. I've made Christmas cakes previous years, but I don't drink, so I don't like the alcohol flavour in Christmas cake, and I don't like fruit. I don't like cooked fruit in baking. However, if I go over to somebody else's house who I know would like to have something like that, I do, like to take something along. But it does take weeks to do, because you're supposed to make the cake in October time or earlier, and then feed it with brandy over the course of several months. So if I wanted to make a Christmas cake, it would already be too late. But maybe I can do that next year, and you can see my attempt at making a cake like that. That would be fun. I do enjoy decorating them, but they are quite a bit of hassle, especially if you haven't got space to store a massive cake that's sitting there waiting for you to put icing and things on. But yes. But yeah, I might have a look at doing some other baked goods from around the world. I know there's things like Stollen, which I have had a go at making. There's also what was it? The spiced biscuits from on the continent, and yields. So, do you have any particular bakes from where you come from? I know that in America, some of my American friends do spritz cookies, and they're quite nice, but they're very, very short, so they're more like sort of mini shortbreads than they are biscuits to me. But that's just my personal opinion. Yes. What do we think? Do you think the blue adds anything to it? I think that looks pretty good. I do like the fact that it's not completely blue. I think it's working in its favour. But yes, we're probably going to have an invasion of the child very, very soon. So the noise level is probably going to go up. What else have we got going on? We have not much really. It's that time of the year when all the money and time that you have goes to prepping things for Christmas, isn't it? Prepping things for the season. As I say, we do have a couple of Comic Cons coming up. We've got the smaller one in Walsall and the bigger one in Birmingham that me and Squinks are going to go to, and maybe I'll do some videos of either of those, which I think you guys would enjoy. Let me know if you'd rather not, but you know, there's always some crafty or some creative ideas there, especially with the cosplayers. The cosplaying designers and makers are just genius. They're so creative and so clever in many cases, and it's always fun to see what people are doing. But yeah, I think Squinks wants to go in cosplay as well, which is something that they're starting to do more regularly, especially as they are very much into their anime and their mangas. But yeah, hopefully I'll have this ready for them to go and wear to the Comic Cons too. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think I need more construction type videos, don't I? This is very same thing over and over and over again. I'm very aware of that. What kind of things do you think I should show on these Friday fabric fumbles? What kind of thing would you prefer to see? I sometimes think my life is somewhat too boring to keep blethering on about it with you guys, but it'd be nice it's nice to share things, and it's also nice to have things to talk about when it comes to making. It's one of the things where, because I'm always gearing up something, it's difficult to know what to talk about and what to hold back on sometimes. But yes, I think we've also decided that next year we are going to be going back to Brighton here in the UK for a trip, and I will look forward to showing you that as well when we go. But that's a whole year away at this point, so not really much I can tell you about that. Yes. But yeah, I mean, I did mention again in another video that I did a couple of weeks ago that I'm planning in the new year on doing a doll remake, and I was thinking something like an Elizabethan lady, or even, you know, Queen Elizabeth themselves, but using a combination of gold work and black work and, you know, doll remodeling, hairstyling on the doll, all sorts of things, so I can sort of bring all of my skills together in one thing. But I was thinking, rather than making it a straight Queen Elizabeth, I would have a go at making Queen Elizabeth from Blackadder. That is one of the funniest versions of her that you'll ever see, but also it's slightly rude. So if you're going to go and look up Blackadder the second, just be aware that it is a bit naughty, but also very, very funny. But I always thought that the costume worn by the actress whose name I can't remember, I think is it Natasha Richardson? Oh, was it Miranda Richardson? I cannot remember. My brain is having a melty moment. So I will find it and I'll put it on the screen up here for you. But yeah, her costume is amazing. It's very, very, very cool, and I will have a go at doing that sometime in the new year. Okay, so I've nearly got to the end of that bit. Just going to put another couple of stitches here. And I'm just going to pull this through and do another bit of stitching on here. I'm going to start with the pink on the inside and then yellow on the outside. So what pink do I have? I have this pink, which is very handy because it is definitely a pink. I'm not going to do a huge amount, just enough to cover the inner sort of area of the design, and then work from there outwards. But like I say, I'm probably going to turn this into a more regular video on hopefully next Monday, so showing you the last few little bits of decoration on this jacket, and then the grand reveal of the final thing. Yes, I am aware that I've left a berry undone. I will be returning to that at some point after this video. So yeah, so there we go. So starting with pink, I'm not doing a huge amount on here. This one I will leave a lot more empty. The blue wound up using an awful lot more than I expected. It just looked better with more of a fill on the blue rather than with the white, because the white was a bit glaring, I think. Yes. I don't want this to be too reminiscent of the flowers in Basil's headpiece. I actually haven't mentioned what this is, have I? This is the Omori blackwork design that I'm doing on a jacket for Squinks, my child, to wear to a Comic-Con hopefully. And Basil is a character from the computer game Omori, and I'm going to put in my usual warning. Omori is a lovely, very beautiful, very well designed game, but it is very, very dark, so I'm going to give it all the trigger warnings. Do not go and look up this game without being aware that there are some very uncomfortable themes. And I think we have a Squinks coming in through the door. Hello, child. Hello. Hello, you right?
Hello.
You're right. I've just got 10 minutes of this to do and then I can talk to you.
Aww.
Say hi to all the folks.
Hello.
What's more with feeling?
Hi.
You had a good day at school?
Yeah.
Is that a no?
Ish.
That's a no then.
And my pins are all still up, my keychains are all still on my bed.
Yay.
Hooray, they've been pulled off.
Okay. Anyway, so, yep, I've gone into the last 10 minutes. After editing this this video is probably going to wind up being less than an hour, but I think that's fine. It's been a tiring day, so I'm running out of steam anyway. And And yes, I've still got to take you to piano. And
I'm going upstairs and doing nothing for a bit.
well, there's a change. So yeah, that's my child back from school, and taking over the entire house again because that's what they do. Oops, feels like I've got a knot behind there. Oh well, I'll deal with that after I've done this. I think I might actually use a little bit of this pink on the seed pods here as well, but I don't know. We shall see. Again, I'm not planning on doing too much with this because I want the focus to be very much on the image of basil in the centre. The image of basil, rather. Basil is how Squinks pronounces it, even though it is basil. That's how we pronounce it here in the UK, or something. I don't know. Yes. There we go. So that's that pink bit done. I'm going to use this just a little bit to do some colours on these seed pods down here. Nothing too much though, just a few little lines. Yep. Then we'll see how we go from there. But yeah, it's definitely gearing up for the season time, isn't it? Got only a couple of weeks left of December, it's November, and then the short run down to the holiday season and all the craziness that comes with that. How do you guys feel about Christmas? How do you like this sort of festive feel to it, or do you get kind of sick of it fairly soon? I have to admit, I do have moments where I like the festive feel of it. I like it when people are going out shopping and, having time together and, having fun as families and stuff. But also at the same time, I do get weary of it fairly quickly. I'm not much of a party animal, unfortunately. But yeah, it's nice to have time with my family. It's nice to have time with my friends. But I don't really like this thing of going into a shopping centre at the very last day because you have to get this and that and the other, because I just find it all a bit too much. A bit overstimulating maybe. But yeah. Anyway. I do enjoy decorating, but unfortunately I have a tiny, tiny house where the decorations get very much lost in the crowds of everything else that's going on around here. How do you decorate your house? We often just use paper chains. Sometimes we don't even bother with a tree. We only have an artificial tree, one that we can use year on year, because we don't have the space for a real tree, and I find them a bit wasteful anyway. We do have a Christmas tree growing in the back garden, but it's growing in the back garden, so you can't really put paper decorations and things on it because it'll get wet and fall off, and it's also not very good for the wildlife, is it? But yours. So I don't know. We might make some handmade decorations. Like I said, I did want to have a go at doing a series of advent houses, which I bought last year to have a go at, but we never got around to it because we've got so many other things going on. Last year we made lino printed Christmas card designs, but I think this year we need to get on with the fabric ones, the handmade patch ones that I've started already. I've just got to finish them. That's always the way, isn't it? The starting projects is all well and good, but you've got to actually finish them, otherwise you can't say that a project is done. Yes. Anyway, so I'm going to, oops-a-daisy, pull that through there. Then I'm going to put that through there and have it overhanging the side here so I can find it later. And then a little bit of yellow for the petals just on there. And I will be finishing in a few minutes because I'm running out of time. But yes, hopefully I'll have a very much more finished Omori piece to show you very soon. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Because I've been working on this for so long. It'd be nice to actually show it finished. Oops-a-daisy. Sorry for banging the camera, as is now traditional. Anyway, so let's start here. And on this corner, the only other thing I'm going to have to do is the purple of the thistle. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have these patterns in here, but it's better to have the colour in there, I think, just to sort of show what these things are a little bit more clearly, I think. What do you think? Does that work? I think it does. Just going to try and get around some of these petals before I sign off, so you can see roughly how it's going to turn out. And the dark is coming in as well. There we go. I think that works quite well. I'm not going to do the full thickness of the yellow because I don't want it to be too bright. I want it to be sort of reasonably muted. But knowing me, I probably will go over them several more times to pin down the colour, as it were. Yep, sorry for the quiet. I am running out of things to say, and I'm also feeling quite tired, so my brain is trying quite a lot to shut down. I had an early rise this morning to get the car into the garage. Fortunately, it's got another year worth of driving left in it, but you know, it's always a bit of a fraught time of year. We've only got one car in this family, and it's the one that I drive, just because that's how it is. We've got, you know, reasonable public transport infrastructure here, but it's still good to have that fallback of having a car that we can actually use for when we need it. But maybe in a year or two I can get rid of the car altogether. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Once we get the infrastructure here in the UK sorted out, that will be even better. But that's how it is. Okay, I like this. I like the way this is looking. It's looking sort of halo-like. What do you guys think? I think that works. It's not too bright, but it's a little bit of a draw for the eyes. Do you think? I think so. I like the way that works. Okay, so anyway, I think I'm going to call it a day. Oops, call it a day there, because I am running out of things to say, and I'm losing track of my words as well. So let me know what you think of that, guys. I like the way the blueberries work and the flowers coming along lovely, and I'm looking forward to finishing off all of this infill here as well. It's still a fair way to go, but I'm going to be doing quite a bit of it off screen, and I'm also going to be doing it in a separate video as well. But let me know what you think of this so far, and let me know if you want to see the grand reveal, and also let me know if you want to see what's going to go on when me and Squinks go and visit Comic-Cons. In the meantime, comment down below all your thoughts, what you think about this. Let me know, answers to the questions earlier. What do you have for Christmas? What plans have you got going on? Otherwise, if you're new here, remember to like and subscribe, and you can see how this will turn out in the next few weeks. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye bye.